Fear is like an invisible chain that keeps people stuck. It's the voice in the back of your mind that whispers, what if it all goes wrong? It stops you from taking chances, from chasing dreams, from stepping outside the comfortable little box you've created around yourself. But did you know that most of what we fear never actually happens? It's not reality. It's just a story we tell ourselves, a worst case scenario that plays on a loop in our mind. And as easily as fear appears, we can let it go. See, fear is nothing more than a survival mechanism. It's the brain's instinct to keep us safe. However, this neurological wiring stops us from speaking up. It stops us from trying. It stops us from living. We fear failure. We fear judgment. We fear discomfort. But the reality is, none of those things will destroy us. The only thing that truly destroys us is never taking the leap at all. Action is the antidote to fear. The moment you step forward, fear starts to lose its power. Fear thrives in hesitation. It grows in inaction. But when you take a step, even the smallest one, you send a message to your mind, I am in control. Think about the last time fear held you back. Maybe it was the fear of rejection, so you never asked for that opportunity. Maybe it was the fear of failure, so you never started. Maybe it was the fear of looking foolish, so you stayed silent when you should have spoken up. But now look at where you are. You survived. And chances are that fear wasn't as real as it seemed. Most of our fears dissolve the moment we face them head on. Fear of taking action is normal, but fear of inaction should scare you more. Because when you don't move, when you let fear win, you stay exactly where you are. And isn't that the real nightmare? Isn't that more terrifying than taking a risk? Nothing will change until you do. Everyone has fears. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is the successful ones face their fears head on and move through them. They didn't wait for fear to disappear. They felt it, acknowledged it, and kept going anyway. And that's called courage. It's not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of it. So what are you really afraid of? What's holding you back? Is it real or is it just a story? And more importantly, what will happen if you don't move? If you don't try? If you don't take the next step? You already have the power to let fear go. You already have what it takes to move forward. The question is, will you use it? Because fear will always be there, but so will the choice to overcome it. Fear might come along for the ride, but it doesn't get to drive your life. You do. We've all heard the phrase, practice makes perfect. But the reality is, perfection doesn't exist. No matter how much you practice, there will always be more to learn, more to refine, and more ways to improve. So let's throw that idea away. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvement, and improvement is what truly matters. If perfection were the goal, most of us would quit before we even started. We'd look at our mistakes and think, what's the point? I'll never get it perfect. But when you shift your mindset to progress over perfection, everything changes. You no longer see mistakes as failures, you see them as lessons. You no longer avoid challenges, you embrace them as opportunities to grow. You no longer wait until you're ready. You start now, because every step forward makes you better. Look at the best in the world, whether they be athletes, musicians, artists, or entrepreneurs. None of them are perfect, but they commit to improvement. They practice, refine, adjust, and push forward, always looking for ways to be just a little bit better than they were yesterday. Because greatness isn't about being flawless, it's about being relentless. So how do you embrace this mindset? First, show up even when you don't feel like it. Some days you won't want to practice. Some days you'll feel stuck. But the secret to getting better is consistency. Improvement isn't about big gains, it's about small, intentional steps repeated over time. Number 2 is focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of chasing an impossible ideal, measure your success by your growth. Like, did you improve even by 1%? Did you push past your comfort zone? If you did, that's a win. Number 3 is learn from every mistake. There is value in mistakes. They are lessons. Every failure teaches you what to fix, what to refine, and what to try next. The only true failure is refusing to learn. Number 4 is commit to lifelong growth. Improvement doesn't have a finish line. The best in the world never stop practicing because they know there's always room to grow. Adopt that mindset and you'll never plateau. At the end of the day, your goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And the more you embrace the process, the more unstoppable you become. So don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be better every single day. Because practice doesn't make perfect. It makes progress. And progress changes everything. There comes a moment in life when you feel stuck. Maybe you've outgrown your current situation. Maybe a path you once followed no longer inspires you. Or maybe you've built an identity around something that no longer serves you. In that moment, you have 2 choices. You can stay where you are, or you can evolve into something greater. Reinvention isn't about abandoning who you are. It's about expanding into who you were always meant to be. It's about recognizing that your past does not define your future and that transformation is always possible. Some people fear change, believing it signals failure. But the real failure is staying the same when you know you were meant for more. Reinvention is a natural part of life. Look at the seasons. Nothing stays the same. Trees let go of their leaves in the fall, not because they failed, but because shedding the old makes way for the new. And the same applies to you. Growth requires change, and sometimes that means letting go of an outdated version of yourself so that something greater can take its place. Throughout history, civilizations have adapted, rebuilt, and reinvented themselves. Those who resisted change faded into the past, while those who embraced reinvention thrived. The same principle applies on a personal level. Those willing to evolve will always find new doors opening before them. So why do so many people hesitate to reinvent themselves? Because it's uncomfortable. Change is uncertain. It requires stepping into the unknown. But ask yourself, what's more terrifying? Taking a risk to grow, or looking back years from now and realizing you let fear keep you from becoming your best self? Many people tell themselves they're too old, too far behind, or it's too late. These are just excuses disguised as logic. Reinvention doesn't have an expiration date. It's not reserved for the young or those who have it all figured out. It's for anyone who's willing to start. Reinvention isn't about making one dramatic shift overnight. It's about making intentional choices that lead to transformation. Here's how to begin. First, embrace discomfort. Growth never happens inside the comfort zone, so reinvention is meant to challenge you. If it feels uncomfortable, that's the sign that you're on the right path. Second, let go of the old identity. Sometimes we cling to roles, relationships, or habits that no longer serve us. You are not your job. You are not your past mistakes. You are not the person you were yesterday. The moment you release the outdated version of yourself, you create space for something new to emerge. Third, take small, consistent steps. Reinvention doesn't happen in a single leap. It happens in the daily choices you make. Read a book, learn a new skill, change a habit, shift your environment. Small actions repeated over time create massive transformation. Fourth is surround yourself with growth-minded people. The people around you influence your mindset. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to become better, not those who keep you tied to who you used to be. And number 5 is believe in the future you haven't met yet. The most important part of reinvention is belief. It's a belief that your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. You may not know exactly what's coming, but trust that you are capable of stepping into something greater. Every choice you make today is shaping the future version of you. You are never stuck. People stay stuck not because they can't change, but because they believe they can't. But you are not rooted in one place. You are not bound by your past. You can grow, you can evolve, you can reinvent yourself. If you feel like you've reached a dead end, maybe it's not the end at all. Maybe it's the beginning of a new version of you. We live in a world that glorifies the idea of being a trailblazer, someone who creates something brand new from scratch. And yes, there's a time for innovation, for fresh ideas, for creativity. But let me ask you this: why reinvent the wheel when someone has already paved the road to where you want to go? If you have a goal, a dream, or something you're striving to achieve, the truth is someone out there has probably already walked the path. Someone has faced those same struggles, overcome the same challenges, and figured out what works and what doesn't. You see, success leaves clues, and all you have to do is look for them. In every field or industry, be it sports, business, fitness, or life itself, there are people who've already achieved the results you're looking for. They've put in the hours, made the mistakes, and refined the process. And because of that, they've created a blueprint for you. All you have to do is learn from it. Want to become a great athlete? Study the habits, the training, and the mindset of champions. Want to succeed in business? Well, then learn from the entrepreneurs who've built companies from nothing. Want to master a skill? Find someone who's already done it and follow their steps. That's not laziness, it's wisdom. I strongly suggest you look for the mentors, the role models, the people who've already laid the groundwork. Read their books, watch their interviews, study their habits. Pay attention to how they think, how they work, how they respond to failure. Because once you understand the process, you can replicate the results. Too often people let their egos get in the way. They think, I'll figure it out myself. And yes, you can try that, but it'll take longer. You'll stumble over issues that someone else has already solved. You'll waste time, energy, and effort trying to decode a puzzle that's already been put together. No, I'm not saying you need to copy someone step for step. The path is proven, but you're still you. You'll bring your own flavor, your own strengths, your own approach to the journey. But having a guide, having a model to follow, will shorten the distance between where you are now and where you want to be. Success isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's for the people who are willing to learn, execute, and stick with it. When you follow a proven path, you're giving yourself a head start. You're leveraging someone else's experience to build your own success. And eventually, when you've walked that path, you'll turn around and light the way for someone else. So find a mentor. Seek out those who've already accomplished what you want. Watch how they operate, adopt their habits, and most importantly, take action. The path is there, the steps are laid out, you just have to walk them. Success isn't a mystery, it's a process. And just like any recipe, follow it, execute it, and one day you'll become the example for others to look to. A winning attitude isn't reserved for those born with luck or talent. It's a mindset anyone can develop. It's the belief that no matter the odds, you can overcome challenges and rise to your potential. A winning attitude is the key to unlocking success in every area of life. It's not about having everything go perfectly. It's about how you show up when things don't. Let's dive into how to cultivate this kind of mindset and build an attitude that attracts success. First, take ownership of your mindset. Winners know that everything starts in the mind. You can't control every circumstance, but you can control how you respond. Too often, people fall into the habit of blaming others or waiting for luck. But winners take ownership of their attitude and outcomes. Replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. Remind yourself, I'm in control of my response. When you shift your mindset to ownership, you become unstoppable. Number 2, fail forward, not backward. Failure isn't the end, it's part of the process. Winners don't fear failure, they learn from it. Because every setback holds a lesson, and every lesson is a step towards success. When things don't go your way, ask, what can I take from this? Embrace failure as a tool for growth, not a sign to stop. Remember, every champion has lost, but they never quit. Number 3, surround yourself with winners. You become the average of the people you surround yourself with. Winners lift each other up. They challenge you, push you, and inspire you to keep going. Find people who have a positive, growth-focused mindset, and distance yourself from negativity or those who hold you back. A winning attitude is contagious. Surround yourself with the right energy, and you'll feel it in your life. Number 4, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Winners don't obsess over results. They fall in love with the process. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to big victories. Instead of worrying about the final goal, focus on what you can do today to get closer to it. When you love the grind, the results will follow. Success isn't a destination, it's a habit. Winners know that the path is just as important as the prize. Number 5, commit to discipline, not motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline builds winners. A winning attitude means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. Create routines that keep you on track. Set non-negotiable standards for yourself. Show up no matter what. Discipline makes the difference between wishing and achieving. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Number 6, celebrate small wins along the way. Winners don't wait for the big victory to celebrate. They find joy in the small wins along the journey. Each step forward matters. Acknowledge every bit of progress you make. Use those small victories to fuel your momentum. When you celebrate your progress, you train your mind to stay motivated for the long haul. The difference between those who win and those who quit is attitude. A winning attitude isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about choosing to rise above them. It's knowing that success is earned through daily habits, through failure, through persistence, and through the belief that you are capable of more. What will you choose today? Will you let setbacks define you, or will you develop the mindset of a winner? Start now. Take ownership of your mindset, focus on progress, and commit to showing up every day. A winning attitude isn't built overnight. It's built one decision, one action, and one victory at a time. So go out there and win today, because the only thing standing between you and success is the attitude you bring to the table. Are you really going to talk yourself out of getting what you truly want? We all have that voice in our head, the one that whispers doubts, that questions our worth, that amplifies our fears. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough, you can't do it, or what if you fail? Sometimes it feels like no matter how hard you try, that negative voice is always there, ready to pull you down when you're just trying to rise. But here's the truth, that voice isn't you, it's just noise. And like any noise, it can be quieted. It's easy to believe that voice when things get tough. When you're faced with challenges and setbacks, or just a bad day, the negativity in your mind can seem endless. You start to believe the lies it tells you, that you're not capable, that you're not strong enough, that you'll never succeed. But you're so much more than that voice. Beneath the noise is a deeper truth, one that speaks of your strength, your resilience, and your potential. The key is learning to recognize that negative voice for what it is. It's fear. Fear of failing, fear of the unknown, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone. And fear is loud. It loves to shout and get your attention. But courage? Courage speaks quietly. It's the steady whisper that tells you to keep going, even when you're scared. It's the inner strength that reminds you that no matter how loud the doubts become, you're capable of more than you think. You have the power to quiet that negative voice, not by fighting it, but by choosing not to feed it. When those thoughts of doubt and fear start to creep in, remind yourself of the times you've pushed through before. Remember the moments when you didn't think you could do it, but you did. Focus on the light within you, not the shadows cast by fear. And it's not about pretending the negativity doesn't exist. It's about not letting it control you. Every time you choose to focus on what's possible instead of what could go wrong, you take back your power. Every time you decide to believe in yourself, even just a little more, that voice gets quieter. And soon the voice of doubt becomes nothing more than background noise. You're the one in control, not the voice of fear, not the voice of negativity. It's you. And every time you rise above it, you prove to yourself just how strong you truly are. So the next time that voice tries to tell you that you're not enough, remember this. You've already come so far. You've already faced challenges, doubts, and fears, and you've made it through every single time. You're not defined by your fears. You are defined by your strength to rise above them. In the end, you hold the power to quiet the noise and see the light. And that light, it's already within you. Let's talk about something that we all deal with, but we rarely address. That little voice in our heads, and you know what I'm talking about. The voice that says you're not good enough, you'll never succeed, or why even bother? This is negative self-talk, and it's something that can drag us down if we let it. Negative self-talk doesn't just affect how we feel in the moment. It impacts our entire lives. When we let those negative thoughts run wild, they begin to shape our reality. They drain our energy, kill our motivation, and push us in a cycle of self-doubt and even depression. Before we know it, we start believing that we're not capable of achieving our goals or deserving of happiness. The fact is, you are not your negative thoughts. Just because your mind tells you something, that doesn't make it true. That voice in your head isn't there to help you. It's there to hold you back. I want to remind you that you have the power to take control. The first step in handling negative self-talk is recognizing when it's happening. Pay attention to the thoughts that come up. When you're faced with a challenge or when something doesn't go your way, be aware. Are you immediately telling yourself, I'm such a failure, or I'll never get this right? When you catch yourself thinking these things, stop and ask yourself, is this really true? Or is this just fear and self-doubt talking? Once you recognize those negative thoughts, challenge them. Replace them with positive, realistic affirmations. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, say, hey, I'm doing my best and I'm growing every day. Instead of saying, I'll never succeed, remind yourself, I've faced challenges before and I've overcome them. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about giving yourself the chance to see from a new perspective. It's about showing yourself some grace and understanding that growth takes time. The next time you hear that negative voice creeping in, remember that you have the power to shut it down. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to give it space to rule your thoughts. You are in control of your mindset, and that's one of the most powerful tools you have. Overcoming negative self-talk isn't easy, but it's necessary if you want to live your best life. It's time to replace that voice of doubt with one of encouragement and hope. Remind yourself that you are worthy, you are capable, and you are enough. So today I challenge you, speak to yourself like you would speak to somebody else. Love yourself. Show yourself kindness, patience, and understanding. When you start doing this, you'll find that you have more energy, more confidence, and more strength to go after the things you want in life. Your words, both the ones you say out loud and the ones that you say to yourself, they have power. Make sure you're using that power to lift yourself up, not tear yourself down. You deserve nothing less. Sometimes we all need a little boost just to remind ourselves of how incredible we actually are. Life is a journey full of twists and turns, and it's easy to get lost along the way, but don't let the fears stop you from doing what is necessary. Reminder number one, you've already overcome so much. Think back to the challenges you faced. Remember those times when it felt like the world was against you? Well, guess what? You made it through. You turned those tough moments into building blocks. Every obstacle you've overcome has made you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Never forget that. Your past struggles are just proof of your inner strength. You've been a warrior before, and you have the power to be one again. Reminder number two, your strengths are your superpowers. You have unique talents and abilities that set you apart. Whether it's your creativity, your determination, or your kindness, these are what separate you from everybody else. They're what make you, you. Embrace them. Let them guide you towards your goals. When you tap into your true potential, you unlock doors you never even knew existed. Trust in your strengths They've been your allies all along. Reminder number 3, the past does not define your future. Your past doesn't have to be a cage that limits your potential. It's simply a chapter in your story, not the whole book. Every day is a new page, a new opportunity to create the life you want. Don't let past mistakes or failures hold you back. Use them as the lessons they were to propel yourself forward. Your future is wide open, full of possibilities, just waiting for you to grab hold. Reminder number 4, you have the ability to achieve great things. Look around you. Everything you see was once just an idea in someone's mind. The only difference between a dream and reality is action. You have the ability to turn your dreams into achievements. It might take hard work and persistence, but you can handle that. Your potential is limitless, and your dreams are valid. So go after them with everything you've got. Reminder number 5, your journey is unique. No one else has your exact combination of experiences, skills, and dreams. Your journey is uniquely yours, and that's something to celebrate. Embrace your path with all its ups and downs. Every experience has shaped you into who you are today. Keep moving forward with confidence, knowing that your journey is perfectly tailored to your growth and success. So as you go about your day, remember these reminders. You're strong, capable, and ready to achieve amazing things. Your past has made you resilient. Your strengths are your superpowers, and your future is full of endless possibilities. Keep believing in yourself and watch how far you can go.